Since the beginning of time, humanity has whispered about a hidden code. A pattern woven into the very fabric of creation. Ancient kings guarded it, prophets spoke of it in parables. Philosophers wrote about it in riddles only the wise could understand. And for centuries, ordinary people were told this knowledge was too dangerous, too powerful, for common hands. Why? Because if someone truly grasps this code, they are no longer at the mercy of chance. They no longer wait passively for blessings. They step into the same current of power that shaped the universe itself. Imagine a map, but not one made of roads and cities. A map of energy. A map that reveals how thoughts, words, and faith interact to create reality. That is what this code is. It's not superstition. It's not luck. It's not even just positive thinking. It is a universal law. A divine blueprint. The same law the prophets tapped into when they declared rain would fall after drought. The same law that visionaries like Napoleon Hill disguised as success principles. The same law Neville Goddard described when he taught that imagination is the seed of reality. But the truth is older than all of them. It begins in the very first verses of the Bible, and God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. Notice what's missing. There was no request, no begging, no waiting. Only a declaration, and reality obeyed. This is the law hidden in plain sight. And once you understand it, you will see why prayers often seem unanswered, why some people attract abundance while others live in lack, and why your words carry far more power than you've been taught. Today, we are going to uncover this code together. And when you hear it, you'll never pray, think, or speak the same way again. The late 1920s were a time of both despair and awakening. The world was moving fast, skyscrapers rising, machines replacing men, fortunes built overnight. Yet beneath the glitter, there was hunger. A deep, spiritual hunger, in quiet libraries, in smoky backrooms, in letters passed between thinkers of the age, whispers began to spread. Whispers of a discovery too strange for the newspapers, too sacred for the churches, too bold for the universities. Old manuscripts were resurfacing, some hidden in monasteries, others preserved by families who had guarded them for centuries. They all spoke of the same thing, the law of creation, that connected the human mind, spoken word, and the divine itself. But what startled those who read these texts was how different they were from traditional prayers. They didn't beg. They didn't plead. They didn't ask for mercy, they declared. Imagine the shock of reading page after page where ordinary men and women, not priests, not kings, spoke with authority. They spoke as if heaven itself had already answered, as if the future was already finished. And the strangest part, reality seemed to bend around them. Doors opened, opportunities appeared, healing and provision followed. These were not coincidences, they were patterns. One phrase echoed again and again, hidden in different words but carrying the same force. The universe does not respond to wishes, it responds to certainty. Think about that for a moment. Certainty, not vague hope, not blind chance, certainty. Napoleon Hill would later call it autosuggestion, the act of planting commands into the subconscious until they bear fruit. Neville Goddard described it as living in the end, embodying your desires so completely that it has no choice but to appear. But centuries before them, Scripture had already spoken. You will also decree a thing, and it will be established for you, and light will shine on your ways. Job 20-28. Do you see the difference? It does not say ask. It does not say hope. It says decree. And this is where the story truly begins, with the forgotten discovery that your words, spoken with conviction, are not just sounds. They are commands written into the fabric of creation. What is a word, really? Most people think of it as sound. Air pushed through lungs, shaped by the tongue, carried into the air. But the ancients knew something modern science is only beginning to prove: words are energy. Every word you speak carries a vibration, and vibration influences matter. That's why music can shatter glass, why a mother's voice can calm a crying child, why angry words can cut deeper than any knife. If ordinary words can move emotions, what happens when words are spoken with faith, with authority, with the certainty that what is declared must come to pass? That's when a word stops being noise and becomes a command. Think back to the very first chapter of Genesis. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. God didn't ask for light, He didn't suggest it. He declared it. The spoken word carried creation itself. And if we are created in His image, then our words also carry creative power. Not the same as God's, but a reflection of it, a spark of the divine blueprint. This is why so many prayers seem unanswered, because they are spoken as requests from a place of lack. Please, God, give me. Please, God, change this. It is the language of begging, not the language of authority. But when you shift from asking to declaring, everything changes. I am blessed. I walk in abundance. I am healed. I am favored. Do you feel the difference? One posture looks outward, hoping something might arrive someday. The other stands firm, rooted in faith, claiming reality as though it already exists. Napoleon Hill described it like programming the subconscious mind, telling it over and over again the reality you have chosen, until the mind itself begins to reshape circumstances. Neville Goddard went further, saying that imagination fused with emotion creates a vibration the universe cannot ignore. But long before either of them, the Bible revealed the same principle. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Proverbs 18:21. Your words are seeds. Every sentence you speak plants a harvest in the soil of your future. Speak fear, and fear multiplies. Speak faith, and faith manifests. This is the secret hidden in plain sight. Your tongue is not just an instrument of speech, it is the steering wheel of your destiny. If words are the seed, then faith, imagination, and emotion are the soil that makes them grow. You see, a decree without belief is just noise, empty sound. But when you wrap words in faith, imagination, and emotion, you ignite them with power. Neville Goddard called this living in the end. He taught that when you imagine a reality so vividly, when you see it, feel it, walk in it within your inner world, the outer world bends to match. The key wasn't just imagination, but the emotion attached to it, because emotion is energy. It is the fuel that powers the picture. Napoleon Hill, in Think and Grow Rich, wrote something similar. The subconscious mind will translate into its physical equivalent any order given to it in a state of belief. In other words, when your words are saturated with faith and emotion, they are no longer suggestions. They are instructions. But again, this truth is far older than Hill or Goddard. Scripture itself says in Hebrews 11:1, now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Notice the language, assurance, conviction. Faith is not weak wishing. It is inner certainty. And when you combine that certainty with words and imagination, you create alignment with divine law. Think of it this way, words are the blueprint. Imagination is the architect drawing the design. Emotion is the electricity that gives it life. And faith is the foundation that holds it all together. Without faith, the structure collapses. Without emotion, it remains lifeless. But when all are present, your inner world becomes so real that the outer world has no choice but to reflect it. That is why Jesus said in Mark 11:24, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Not believe that you might receive. Not believe someday it could arrive. But believe you have already received. This is the art of creation. To speak, to imagine, to feel, and to believe, as though it is already done. And once you grasp this, you are ready for the next step, the 7 keys of prosperity. The first key of a powerful decree is to always speak in the present tense. Why? Because the universe, your subconscious mind, and even the spiritual laws God established only respond to the vibration of now. When you say, one day I will be rich, you are placing abundance somewhere in the distant future. You're telling your mind and your spirit, this is not mine yet. And what happens? It stays out of reach. The more you chase it into tomorrow, the further it runs. But when you declare, I am prosperous now, you anchor that reality into the present moment. You tell your mind to start adjusting, to start opening doors, to start attracting the opportunities that match that frequency. Remember what God said to Moses, I am who I am. God speaks in the eternal present, because the present is where creation happens. Think of it like planting a seed. If you say, one day I will plant a garden, nothing grows. But the moment you plant it today, the process begins. Your words are seeds, and the present tense is the soil. This is why Jesus said in Mark 11:24, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Notice the phrase, believe you have received it. Not that you will someday, but that you already have. When you shift your language from the future into the now, you shift your entire vibration. You stop waiting, you stop hoping, and you start creating. Speak as though it is already here, and soon, your reality will have no choice but to match your words. The second key to prosperity is learning to remove doubt from your words. What you speak carries power, and that power is amplified or weakened by the certainty behind it. When we say things like maybe, hopefully, I wish, we create cracks in the foundation of our declarations. These phrases sound harmless, but spiritually they send out a signal of uncertainty. Instead of calling forth abundance, they call forth hesitation. Instead of declaring that you are ready to receive, they whisper to the universe, and to God, that you are unsure. Think of your words as seeds. If you plant a seed and then dig it up every day to check whether it's growing, that seed never has the chance to take root. The same happens when you speak with doubt. You say, maybe I'll succeed, and then wonder why success feels out of reach. You declare, I hope something changes, but hope without faith becomes a wish rather than a command. Prosperity requires firm declarations, words rooted in conviction, not uncertainty. Instead of maybe, say I manifest. Instead of hopefully, affirm it is done. Instead of I wish, speak so it is. These phrases carry the vibration of certainty. They tell heaven and earth that your mind is made up, your faith is firm, and your heart is aligned with the flow of divine abundance. Remember, Jesus said in Mark 11:24, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Notice the language, not maybe you'll receive, but believe you have received. Faith-filled words move mountains. This does not mean ignoring challenges or pretending difficulties don't exist. It means refusing to give your difficulties more power than your destiny. When obstacles appear, don't say, I hope I get through this. Say, God is making a way for me. When finances feel tight, don't declare, I wish I had more. Declare, my needs are met. Abundance flows to me now. Every word you release carries frequency. Doubt lowers that frequency, faith raises it. When you train yourself to remove doubt from your words, you step into alignment with certainty, and certainty attracts prosperity. Speak as though it is already yours, because in the spiritual realm, it is. The third key to prosperity is clarity. Simplicity in your words carries a power that long, complicated phrases often lose. Your subconscious mind does not respond to explanations, conditions, or endless details. It responds to commands. Think of your subconscious as fertile soil. The simpler the seed, the faster it takes root. When you say, I am healthy, that message is direct and unmistakable. Your mind knows exactly what to align with. But when you say, I hope that one day, after all this stress and these challenges, I might finally start feeling better, your words create confusion. The subconscious doesn't know whether to focus on hope, stress, challenges, or better. Instead of planting one strong seed, you scatter a handful of mixed seeds, some of them weeds. This is why clear, short declarations are so effective. I am prosperous, opportunities find me, my life is expanding. These simple sentences vibrate with certainty and strength. They carry no extra baggage, no room for misinterpretation. Every time you repeat them, you are programming your subconscious with precise instructions. Consider how a commander gives orders to an army. He doesn't give long explanations or apologize for his authority. He speaks with brevity, clarity, and force. Advance, hold the line, move forward. Your words should carry that same tone of authority. Long, complicated affirmations often sound like you are trying to convince yourself. Clear affirmations declare what already is. Remember this truth, energy follows direction. When your words are simple, your energy is focused. When your words are complicated, your energy is scattered. That's why so many people repeat affirmations yet see no results. Their language is clouded with conditions, explanations, or doubts. So, train yourself to be clear. If you want health, say, I am healthy. If you want financial flow, say, money comes to me with ease. If you want growth, say, my life expands every day. Speak it, repeat it, and let your subconscious obey. Clarity is not a weakness. It is strength. The most powerful declarations are often the shortest. Prosperity listens to direct words, speak them, and watch how life begins to align with your clear command. The fourth key to prosperity is the power of your voice. When you declare something, your tone and energy matter just as much as the words themselves. If you speak like someone begging or pleading, the vibration you send out is one of lack and desperation. But when you speak with authority, like a person who knows that what they say carries weight, the universe responds with alignment. Think about it. When a leader gives instructions, they don't whisper with hesitation, "I really hope this works." They declare with conviction, "This is the way." Your subconscious responds in exactly the same way. It obeys the voice of certainty. This doesn't mean you must shout or be aggressive. Authority isn't about volume, it's about conviction. Even in silence, your words can be carried by an inner firmness, a knowing that what you are saying is already reality. When you say, "I am abundant," but inside you feel weak and unsure, your energy is divided. But when you say, "I am abundant, it is done," and you feel that truth resonating in your chest, then your whole being aligns with that declaration. Your voice carries frequency. Think of prayer, affirmation, or decree not as empty words, but as sound waves charged with spiritual energy. The stronger your conviction, the more power your words release. This is why Scripture tells us, life and death are in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21. Your voice literally shapes reality. Here's the difference. Saying, "Please, I wish I could have success," carries the vibration of pleading. Saying, "I manifest success now. It is mine," carries the vibration of command. One asks, the other declares. Which one do you think the universe listens to? So practice speaking your affirmations like you mean them. Speak them standing tall, with confidence. Even if at first you don't fully feel it, repeat them with authority until your mind and emotions catch up. Over time, your subconscious will accept that tone as truth, and your reality will follow. Remember, don't ask the universe. Don't plead with God as if he is holding back from you. Speak as a child of the King, someone with inheritance and authority. Declare boldly, with conviction, and watch your words carry the power to shift everything around you. The fifth key to prosperity is the power of vision. Words alone are strong, but when you add clear images to them, you activate the creative engine of your subconscious mind. The mind thinks in pictures. When you say, "I am healthy," your subconscious doesn't just hear the word healthy, it searches for an image to attach to it. If you don't provide one, it may default to old memories or fears. But when you consciously visualize yourself full of energy, smiling, moving freely, glowing with vitality, you give your subconscious a blueprint to follow. Visualization is more than daydreaming. It is an intentional creation. It is seeing yourself already living the reality you are declaring. When you decree, "I am prosperous," don't just repeat the words. See yourself walking with confidence, paying your bills with ease, blessing others with generosity, living in peace and freedom. The clearer the image, the stronger the vibration. Think of an architect. Before building a house, the architect creates detailed blueprints. Without them, the builders would be lost. Your subconscious works the same way. It builds according to the images you supply. The more vivid, the faster the manifestation. This is why Neville Goddard said, "Assume the feeling of the wish being fulfilled. Don't just talk about prosperity, step into the movie of it in your mind. See the colors, hear the sounds, feel the emotions. If you're declaring health, visualize yourself running, dancing, or laughing with strength. If you're declaring wealth, imagine yourself blessing your family, giving generously, or enjoying the freedom that abundance brings. Even the Bible affirms this principle. Write the vision and make it plain on tablets, that he may run who reads it. Habakkuk 2:2. A vision must be plain, clear, and powerful. When you decree, pair your words with inner pictures. Your words are the command, your visualization is the design, and your emotion is the fuel. This holy trinity of word, image, and feeling activates creation. Remember this, vague images bring vague results, but clear, detailed visualization, soaked with faith and gratitude, turns your decree into a spiritual magnet, pulling your desires into reality. The sixth key to prosperity is to seal your decree with gratitude and uncheckable certainty. Words and images set the command, but it is your feeling that locks it in place. Without emotion, words are like empty shells, but when you fill them with gratitude, they become alive, vibrating with power. Gratitude is not just politeness, it is proof of belief. When you thank God for something before it arrives, you are showing the universe that you already trusted is on the way. Imagine receiving a gift. Do you wait until the person leaves to say thank you? No, you express gratitude right away because you know the gift is already yours. That's the posture of faith. Jesus himself said, "Whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." Mark 11:24. Notice the language, believe you have received it. Gratitude flows from that certainty. When you decree, "I am prosperous," don't just say it, feel the joy of prosperity now. Smile as if the blessing has already arrived. Let your heart overflow with appreciation. This vibration of gratitude tells your subconscious, this is real. This is happening now. And the subconscious responds accordingly. Certainty is equally important. Doubt is like a hole in the container of your decree. You can pour in words, images, and energy, but if you allow doubt, the power leaks away. Certainty is standing firm even when circumstances don't yet match your declaration. It is saying, "I know whom I have believed." To Timothy 1:12. Gratitude and certainty together create a force field around your words. They transform your decree from mere repetition into a spiritual command. Each time you feel gratitude, you are affirming your faith. Each time you hold certainty, you are anchoring your reality. So practice it. After every affirmation, pause. Take a deep breath. Say thank you with sincerity. Imagine the prayer already answered, the blessing already delivered. Feel the joy, the relief, the peace, and let that gratitude become your daily atmosphere. Remember, gratitude is not just a reaction, it is a creative force. When paired with certainty, it becomes the final seal that makes your decree unstoppable. The seventh key to prosperity is the power of silence. When you speak of a decree, you are planting a spiritual seed. Just as a farmer does not dig up the seed every day to check if it is growing, you too must protect your decree by keeping it private. Many people make the mistake of sharing their affirmations or manifestations with everyone around them. They talk about their goals, their prayers, their visions, but in doing so, they weaken the energy. Why? Because words spoken carelessly are like exposing a fragile sprout to harsh winds before it takes root. Other people's doubts, criticisms, or even envy can disrupt the energy you are cultivating. Napoleon Hill, in Think and Grow Rich, said it clearly. Tell the world what you intend to do, but first show it. Great achievers protect their plans until they are strong enough to stand on their own. Your decree is no different. It needs silence, secrecy, and space to grow. Think of the example of Mary, the mother of Jesus. Scripture tells us that when she received divine revelations, she kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. Luke 2:19. She didn't run to everyone to explain what the angel had told her. She guarded the word in silence until the time of fulfillment. The same principle applies to your declarations. Share them with God, not with the crowd. The universe does not require everyone's approval for your decree to manifest. In fact, the more private your decree, the stronger its energy remains. This does not mean you must hide your blessings forever. When the fruit is ripe, the world will see it without you needing to explain. But during the process, protect the seed. Let it grow in the soil of silence. So remember, not every word needs an audience. Some words are sacred, between you and God, between you and your spirit. Keep them private, nurture them with faith, and in the right time, the harvest will reveal itself to all. We've now uncovered the 7 keys of the true decree. These are not just guidelines, they are the very foundation of spiritual creation. When practiced, they transform ordinary words into sacred commands that shift reality. But when ignored, those same words become empty noise, prayers without faith, affirmations without power. So now I ask you, have you been honoring these principles in your speech, your thoughts, your declarations? Or have you been scattering your energy with words full of doubt, rushed phrases, or half-belief? The difference between those two paths is the difference between a life that flows with divine prosperity and a life that feels stuck. That's why the great teachers didn't just know the rules, they practiced them daily in a very specific way. They followed a simple but profound ritual, a process that united intention, feeling, and divine timing into one. Imagine this as a sacred moment in your day. The world quiets down, distractions fade, and you step into alignment with your highest creative power. This ritual doesn't take hours. In fact, you can do it in just a few minutes. Yet its effects echo for days, even weeks, until your desires take form in your reality. Here is how it works, step by step. Step 1. Choose the sacred time. Timing matters. The best moments are the 30 minutes before sleep or the first minutes after waking. These are the windows when your subconscious mind is wide open, ready to receive. Prepare your environment. Turn off devices, dim the lights, and create silence. This sets the stage for connection. Step 2. Enter the state of fulfillment. Before you speak, feel. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and step into the reality of your desire. See it clearly. Experience it as if it is already done. Feel the joy, the relief, the gratitude. This emotional state is the soil where your decree will grow. Step 3. Speak the sacred words. Now declare with authority. Begin with I am and I decree. Follow with the specific reality you choose to manifest. Then seal it with words of finality. It is done. It is finished, so it is. I manifest. Example, I am prosperous. I decree financial abundance. It is done, it is finished, so it is. I manifest this reality. Repeat this flow for about 3 minutes, fully present and without rushing. Step 4. Seal with gratitude, and the ritual with thanks. Say within yourself, I am grateful for what is already unfolding. I trust divine timing. Gratitude is the energetic signature that proves your faith. It's the stamp that locks your decree into motion. Step 5. Release and trust. When you're finished, let it go. Don't obsess, don't doubt, and don't talk about it with others. You have planted the seed, now allow the universe and your subconscious to do their work. As Napoleon Hill taught, the subconscious mind works continuously, whether you make use of it or not. This ritual activates that unseen power. This is the ritual of the masters. It doesn't require force, hours of work, or endless repetition. What it does require is sincerity, emotional truth, and consistency. And once you practice it faithfully, you'll discover why generations of spiritual seekers called this the hidden code of creation. And now, prepare yourself, because in the next part, we will uncover what many call the most powerful decree in the world, a formula so precise that it has been said to manifest results in as little as 7 days. Throughout history, there have been whispers of the hidden code, a verbal formula guarded by sages, mystics, and spiritual teachers who understood the creative force behind words. This code was never meant to be ordinary. It was a sacred decree, a declaration so potent that when spoken with purity of heart and uncheckable conviction, it altered the field of reality itself. What makes this decree different from a simple affirmation or a hopeful prayer is its authority. It does not ask. It does not beg. It commands. It speaks as though the outcome has already been sealed in the invisible and is now simply awaiting its unveiling in the visible. The masters knew, the universe does not respond to hesitation, it responds to certainty. The decree itself is simple, yet it carries layers of power. I am the living expression of divine abundance. I decree now the full realization of my purpose. It is done, it is complete, so it is. I manifest with faith what already belongs to me by divine right. Each phrase is like a key turning in a lock. I am connects you instantly with your highest identity, the spark of creation within you. The living expression reminds you that abundance is not a distant dream, it is already moving through your life. It is done, it is complete, closes every door to doubt, leaving no cracks for uncertainty to enter. So it is stamps your command into the universal blueprint, but words alone do not create. The power comes from the state you enter while speaking them. When mind, body, and spirit align, the decree becomes more than sound, it becomes vibration. It reshapes your inner chemistry, rewires your focus, and calls opportunities, people, and circumstances into your orbit. Still, such strength requires responsibility. The masters always insisted, this decree should not be spoken lightly or casually. It is not a mantra to be repeated throughout the day like background noise. It is a sacred act, performed once daily, for 7 days, always at the same chosen hour. Why 7? Because 7 is the rhythm of completion, a number that seals cycles and bridges the human with the divine. Why the same time each day? Because repetition at a sacred hour trains the subconscious, opening the same energetic doorway again and again until the intention takes root. The practice is clear. Before you speak, pause, breathe deeply. Close your eyes and step into the reality you desire. See it, feel it. Allow gratitude to rise in your chest, as if the gift has already been delivered. Only then, in that heightened state of certainty, declare the decree. Speak with authority, not from need. Let every word carry weight. like a stone dropped into still water, rippling outward into creation. But here lies the most important warning. Decreeing is creating, and creation carries responsibility. The universe listens not only to the words you form but to the energy that fuels them. To decree from fear, vanity, jealousy, or desperation is to misuse the sacred. Therefore, decree only what aligns with the truth of your soul. Decree for growth, healing, love, and purpose, never to control or diminish another. Equally vital is the discipline of silence. Once spoken, your decree must remain yours alone. Do not share it with others, do not seek approval, do not explain. Every time you expose a sacred seed to external voices, you weaken its energy. True creation requires privacy. Protect your decree the way a gardener protects a seed buried in the soil. Speak it once, water it with gratitude, and trust the unseen forces to do their work. And finally, patience is the last key. The decree sets the process in motion, but the unfolding belongs to divine timing. Some manifestations arrive quickly. Others take shape gradually, weaving through synchronicities and opportunities you cannot yet see. The task is not to control when, but to remain faithful until the harvest. So here is the invitation. Ask yourself honestly, are you ready to carry this power with integrity? Can you decree with authority, hold your silence, and trust the invisible process without anxiety? If your answer is yes, then you are prepared to step into a new reality. One sculpted not by chance, but by the living power of your own word aligned with the divine. You've made it this far, and that alone reveals the depth of your spirit. You're not here merely to gather information, you're here to ignite transformation. Today, you realize you no longer need to beg. You no longer need to wait for the world outside to change your life. The power is in your hands, your words carry weight, and more than that, you possess spiritual authority. Napoleon Hill said it best, the human mind, when united with faith, can turn the invisible into reality. True faith does not ask, it commands. Jesus did not plead with the vines to stop, he said, be still. He did not beg the fig tree to wither. He declared, may you bear no more fruit, and it was done. Those who know their power do not ask, they decree. The universe does not respond to timid words spoken in doubt. It responds to commands rooted in unwavering faith. It responds to those who have chosen to vibrate as creators. And now, the choice is yours. Every night, before you sleep, find stillness. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, visualize, speak, I am. I decree it done. It is complete, so it is. I manifest. This is the language of spirit. This is the sound of creation. This is your new path. If this message has stirred something within you, commit to it now. Declare in the comments, I step into my new era. Doing so seals your decision. It sends a signal. It awakens a higher consciousness within you. And if you feel this message could awaken others, share it, like it, subscribe with intention. Here, you'll find not just content, but codes of inner transformation. Remember, you were not created to ask, you were created to govern. And those who govern their mind, govern their destiny. May the light of truth illuminate your path. May your words take root and grow. And may every decree you speak become the signature of your new reality. It is done. It is complete. So it is.